Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 40 of the Daddy Brigade podcast. I'm Keith the Bearded Tank.
I'm Zach the Tactical Gnome.
We got a full house.
Have a full house tonight. We got our buddy Tyler. We got JP.
Hey, everybody.
We got our friend Cox. And then we have a friend of mine from Colorado and the hardcore music scene that now lives in the wonderful state of Tennessee, Mr. Niko. What's going on, buddy?
How is everybody doing?
Well, I currently need to shut the window since I'm using the condenser mic tonight, and it's fucking picking it up, the wind.
Oh, jeez.
Probably.
Oh, fuck. All right, there we go.
So, tonight, folks, was a little bit of different than normal. Of course, everybody's got firearms and drinking like normal, which is,
I actually skipped making my drink because I was trying to hurry and get on here after the big fiasco that I was just dealing with. But anyway.
Well, hey, at least you didn't have to deal with the quarantini again.
Yeah.
I actually might have to make one of those. I'm running out of everything else.
Here you go.
Yeah.
So you remember what you did.
Oh, by the way, I got the recipe for the Boogaloo Bubbler.
Boogaloo Bubbler.
It is a third of gin, a third of apple juice, and a third club soda in a big mug with ice.
That sounds fucking terrible. I've got the real Boogaloo drink right here.
Well, if you see the one scrolling at the bottom of the screen there, the Quarantini actually is quite tasty.
It is.
Crushed chocolate of Airborne. Goddamn.
Niko, you laugh. It's actually delicious. Especially, his version's good.
I'm not much of a mixed drink kind of guy. I just, I mostly just drink Jameson.
Well, I mean, that'll definitely, serve its purpose as well. I can't fault you on that one.
Jameson does wonders. On a side note, Giant Eagle, for some reason, has all of their Corona on sale.
I wonder why.
Nobody wants to buy it.
I've seen the best. I seen the best one today. The guys from the one page I follow, they were out shooting a cannon at a bunch of Corona bottles and empty Jameson bottles. I think they may have emptied a Jameson bottle prior to doing this.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do it,
because they could not hit shit.
That just sounds like a typical night at your house.
Yeah,
we all know you can't hit shit.
Oh.
Wait, who are you referring to, me or him? Because he can't hit shit either.
Know me, boy.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I know I can't hit shit.
AKA the tactical code.
Oh, here we go with this shit again. So, the reason Niko is on here, and it'll be kind of a fun podcast because Cox dabbles in it a little bit as well, is we're going to talk about some CBD stuff. And Niko, in my opinion, is like, out of all my friends, the god of CBD, and knows quite a bit about it. Has definitely dabbled in it for a while.
Just a little bit. Couple years.
A little bit. Why don't you go ahead and kind of explain everything, like what CBD is and like the legalities of it, and then we'll kind of get into some of the other stuff with it.
So, I mean, CBD itself is legal in all 50 states now. Donald Trump put, what was it? The Farm Bill 2018 made the transportation and sales legal in all 50 states. Probably one of the biggest things, and in my opinion, one of the greatest things he's ever going to do in his career as a president. It made my life a hell of a lot easier, and I can guarantee you it made a shit ton of other people's lives a hell of a lot easier as well. But as far as, what it is, so you have multiple different cannabinoids, right? So you have THC, you have CBD, you have CBG, you have CBC. There's all these crazy ass names or whatnot, but CBD CBD is not one of the cannabinoids that gets you high, right? So CBD, it's more of an anti-inflammatory. It's more of an anti-depressant. It's more of an I fucking hate myself kind of cannabinoid.
Anti-anxiety type thing.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where if you just don't really feel very well mentally, physically, whatnot, it brings you back up, you know? And it's one of those, for me, anti being broke kind of cannabinoids. So like, for the past quite a few years, I mean, it's how I've survived and taken care of my family.
And you've been doing that when I first met you. You were getting real big into it, and it was interesting to hear you talk about it all then, and then to kind of follow you with everything that you've been doing and your journey with it. It's been really interesting to see the pictures that you post and everything, and you've talked to me a little bit about it. You've talked to my wife about the CBD stuff. And it's funny because my mom wants to try it now. And my mom is real big anti-marijuana type person. And I've been getting on my mom's case about trying it because she has some back issues. And I was like, look, if you want to try it, I will yes, we see your CBD, stay healed. Why are you at work?
It's tax season.
The governor, because vape is considered part of the tobacco industry and health industry in Ohio, they fall under the essential companies.
Hey, stop flagging the internet.
Yeah. So
no, he's not flagging the internet. He's flagging everybody past the internet.
Yeah, it was.
As far as I know, every individual I know that's working in the CBD industry right now, or even some of the actual dispensary they're considered essential and aren't closing down.
Yep, I actually passed on the stuff that Cox Post sent a few days ago. My old youth pastor actually runs a vape shop in my hometown, and he's been having issues with people freaking out saying that he should be closed, and so I sent him what Cox put in the chat earlier. Said, here's a phone number you can call. The Summit County's deemed them to be essential because of this reason. He's like, hey, cool, thanks for helping me stay open, because he's a small business owner. And he's in there doing that, and his wife's in there doing sewing masks for the hospitals and stuff. So
I know that. Do what?
The one thing I was going to ask, since with the whole coronavirus going around, have you heard of anybody testing CBD out to see if it helps fight the virus in any way?
I haven't heard anything about it. And as much as I would like to see it go through the trials and whatnot, I really feel like it's just one of those things that, since the coronavirus is such a big respiratory disease kind of thing going on, the only thing it would actually really do is take away the inflammation of your lungs. And
so has there been any has CBD ever been used for any type of antiviral properties at all? Has there been any research on that?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so probably best case scenario that for this particular thing would be literally just help reduce some symptoms possibly.
Yeah, so most of the cough that individuals are getting through the coronavirus is because of the irritation in the respiratory, system, and I mean, most of it's probably because of their airways closing up. And the only thing that I could see CBD really helping with is taking away that inflammation.
See, now I wish we would have thought of
that's what I was
far enough ahead of time.
I was wondering about that the other day at work before I even decided about doing this, and I was wondering, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to hit up my buddy Niko to find out, because he would be the one to know.
And you'd be surprised how many people ask me on a daily basis, is there any way that CBD can help with curing the coronavirus? And I'm like, man, it'll probably help you get over it. And, you know, I have my own personal opinions on the whole coronavirus situation itself, but, you know, for what it is, I don't really see in it curing it, maybe just helping you get over it.
Yeah. Do any of you guys personally know anyone specifically that has been tested or positive for it?
Not yet.
I do.
Not a single person.
I was gonna say, I know you do, Keith.
Well, you guys live in Ohio. I feel
John,
like
there may be rumors of someone at work
Oh, really?
may have had
that's
it.
great.
Never mind. Don't. Yeah, you can't say on here, especially.
Yeah, the family's
not
been
a
asked
coworker,
to keep
not our
it under.
coworker.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah,
But that's still up in the air yet.
Yeah, the family asked to keep it under wraps, so I won't name any names. But somebody I went to high school with.
Well, yeah. And with the whole HIPAA
It's been
thing,
confirmed.
I mean, for crying out loud, look, you had the lead singer of Rammstein has it.
Oh shit!
Joe Diffie died because of it.
Yeah.
Those motherfucking Chinese bastards. We gotta fucking nuke those fuckers and kill them.
Hey, you know the funny thing is,
fucking the Stone Age.
I seen something the other day, and it just came up on Fox that he's back in the States now. But they said if the coronavirus takes out Tom Hanks, we should bomb China back to the Stone Age and rename the country Dale.
Fucking ain't right, you should. Those fucking bastards.
Oh, man.
Because, you know, raise hail and praise Dale.
Oh.
But dude, especially you being in Tennessee, that's their god down there.
Well, I mean, you gotta look at it like this, bro. I'm from North Carolina. That's where the Intimidator was born, baby. Come on now.
Yeah,
goddamn right.
I forgot you were originally from North Carolina.
Yeah, raise hell, praise Dale, baby.
Yeah. Is he's gonna start by doing it, bouncing in and out again like last time?
Yeah.
Oh no, we'll just delete his ass.
Yeah, I won't add him back to the stream. It's that simple. I can control that.
So with the with that farm bill being passed, I'm assuming your job has like a huge uptick within this last year. Then,
so here's the big thing for me. So technically, over the years of me doing this, I haven't had, with the farm bill being passed, even before it was passed, I personally haven't had a single change in the way I do business on a day-to-day basis. And that's not to say that the farm bill didn't, help what we're doing and the movement forward and everything like that. But the way that my companies that I've ever worked for, or worked with now, or work with, or whatever, I haven't really seen much of a difference just because of the process side of it. I'm the one that makes the CBD. I'm not the one who grows it. I'm not the one who transports it. I'm not the one who ships it out of the country. Biggest thing for me is it makes those individuals that are looking to spend money to make their stuff what it's supposed to be, or make their products, or want to drive across the country to come and see me with their CBD in the back of their truck. They can do that legally now.
well, that's a plus side.
It's
Yeah,
a giant plus side.
but as far as me and my side of it goes, man, I can do the same shit I was doing before Donald Trump even became president.
Well, maybe you guys did this a little bit on the live stream before. So what is? Could you just for the main podcast recording here, like kind of cover what your end of that is? Like, what do you?
Yeah. So hold on one second.
He's a goddamn chemical engineer.
Yeah. So I pretty much take in for the amount of years I've been doing this. The way I started off, man, was I was a welder fabricator in the state of North Carolina. And pretty much I got a call one day that said the company that I was working for get shut down. And at that same time, the individual who was the financial advisor of our company I was with said, "Hey man, I'm going to go to Colorado. I'm going to start up this whole CBD thing. or extraction thing is what he said it as. I was like, man, I have no idea what the fuck that is. And he was like, well, just come out here, come build these tanks for me, come help us build this facility, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck, I'm down, bro. Whatever. He was like, I'll give you like $6,000 a month salary, pretty much. Like, that's how much I was going to take home. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm down. Like, North Carolina, that's unheard of right now.
So to start out, it was like a welding job, basically. That were like a fabricating job is what they started you doing, like to make the extraction equipment,
I
guess.
all the tanks and all that good stuff that they needed. And mind you, at this time, I had no fucking clue what I was building. They just gave me schematics and told me to build something, and I just did it.
Just following the plan.
Yeah. So I get there, I start building everything, and I meet all these crazy like individuals behind what's going on. Now, mind you, this is like the forefront for CBD in Colorado at the time, right? So nobody was doing what we were building out for. I mean, it just was unheard of, you know? And I get there, we built the facility out and stuff like that, and then I start poking around and start learning what they're trying to get to, what they're doing, you know? Eventually I started getting wise to it. They started teaching me a couple things here and there after the facility was built out and everything. And then all of a sudden, half the financial team was like, yo, we're gone. We're getting the fuck out of here. I was like, whoa, wait a second. You just moved me to fucking Colorado across the country. What the fuck do you mean you're leaving? I was like, you're just going to leave me here?
Yeah, I could see that being a little unnerving there.
Yeah. So, you know, the individuals that mattered on the financial side of everything were the ones that stayed, right? So, I ended up talking to them and I said, hey guys, listen, I was like, I know enough of what I've learned since I've been here to keep this facility up and going. I need you guys to have faith in me the way that I have faith in you to help me take care of what the fuck I need you to stay surviving here across the country. And they were like, yeah, you know what? Like, if you got full confidence you can make some money, fuck, let's do it. I was like, I guarantee you give me 6 months of research and development in here by myself, nobody else. Because at the time, I mean, I was the only like employee that was left, right? I stayed. I continued doing what I was doing, got better and better and better, and 6 months later, we're a multi-million-dollar company.
Damn.
Yeah, and then, you know, you got to imagine that's 6 months into, however many years I have into this industry now, and every year it just kept getting better and better. So, kind of crazy how it works out, man. But, you know, from a process standpoint, what I do is I take in the flower, or I take in somebody's bullshit product that they've made, however far that goes, and I can either dissect what the fuck they messed up, you know, or I can take your flower and make you any fucking product that you want made out of CBD.
So a lot of times then, like, you'll actually more just kind of fix everyone else's fuck ups.
Yeah, I mean, man, you'd be surprised how much money you can make off of somebody not knowing what the fuck they're doing.
Jesus. Now, like, I know I sent you the picture. They're selling like CBD shit at like our local gas station.
Yeah, I seen that.
And I sent
A lot
you
of
a
our
picture
local
of it,
gas
and I was
stations
like,
are doing that.
what the hell?
Yeah, it's popping up everywhere.
Hell, they
now.
even converted the one family video into a CBD store now.
Oh, which one?
Jesus.
The one that was over on Raccoon.
No.
Off of Raccoon and
Raccoon and Kirk?
the one next to the
No,
Speedway.
that's a Dollar
They were
General.
selling CBD out of it.
Well, yeah,
No,
they
they
sell
were-
CBD, but it's still the Marco's Pizza, and then the actual family video side is Dollar General now.
Oh, well, before it went to Dollar General, they were selling CBD out of there, and I'm just like, no.
Well,
Yeah, they didn't
I mean,
last long because Dollar General bought it out pretty quick.
what really scares me about that whole situation is you have dudes that are like running like clinics and things like that, right? So I went to get checked up on at the local clinic down the street like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago because I had the flu. I'd like to consider it the coronavirus because I believe that's what it was, but
I think we've all had it.
Shit.
you never fucking know, you know what I mean? But
Well, the common flu is a coronavirus. Don't let that get a hold of you.
It's such a large family
of strain of all of it.
It's a very large.
I was on my fucking deathbed for like a week and a half. I felt like I was dying. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Nothing, you know. But I went down to the clinic and I was like, "Hey, I'm dying," and they were like, and they took me over, you know, took me to the back, checked me out. They were like, "Yo, you got the flu, blah blah blah, whatever." And then they took me to the front desk because there was also a pharmacy where I could get my prescription filled out. And they were like, "Hey, have you tried CBD?" And they have this whole fucking cabinet full of like CBD, like edibles and tinctures and all these kind of crazy stuff. And I was like, "Man, where'd you guys get that stuff?" And like at this point in time, I'm like, "Hey, where you guys get this stuff? I can't breathe." You know, trying to talk to them and shit. And they're like, "Well, we got like 6 different CBD manufacturers here in I live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee." And they were like, "Yeah, we got like 6 different individuals making stuff out here." And I was like, "Well, if they sold you this stuff, stop buying it from them because they're fucking garbage." I was like, "Man, what are you doing?"
Now,
I'm sure the pharmacist was probably like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, looking at me, they're like, "Yeah, this dude has no idea what he's talking about."
Was there by any chance any products that they had that you worked on at all?
Not a single one.
that would just be fun. Like, have you ever tried any? He's like, "Shit, I made that one." Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I made that exact one.
Hey, no, I've actually had a couple different instances, man. Like, so the company I work with right now, I work specifically for Tyson Ranch. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
Tyson's Weed Ranch?
Like Tyson Chicken?
No, like Mike Tyson.
No, like Mike
okay.
Tyson.
Yeah.
Like Tyson's Weed
Hey,
Ranch.
I had to clarify.
Yeah. So he actually
I didn't know if you were still working for him.
Yeah. It's actually going really well. This is probably one of the most promising companies I've worked with.
Mike Tyson owns property up by
on
Southington.
Facebook, when I seen you post that on Facebook, like I was like, this is the break that he's been looking for.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, like the last company I worked with before I came with these guys was called Honeygold Processing, and they like when I first got there, man, it was like one of those, you know, we're the most promising thing that's going to come out of the CBD industry, blah, 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 whatever. We'll pay you this much money to start off with. We're going to promise you this, this, and this. Bro, when it came down to it, I built their process for them. I showed them how to make a bunch of fucking money. I took them out of bankruptcy within like 3 weeks, I think it was, and turned their whole company around. And then as soon as I made them money, they were like, "All right, we don't need you anymore. We're going to sell the company. Get the fuck out of here."
Damn.
Wow.
But
That sounds like most CBD companies.
But what really worked out for me was one of the contacts that I made through Honeygold was he was actually the business advisor and everything for Tyson Ranch. I made their product and I fixed their product, right? So they had a bunch of fucked up like CBD isolate, which is like purified 99.9% CBD. And they were sending me a bunch of stuff that they had like 8 different consultants come in to teach them how to make CBD isolate, blah, 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 whatever. And once Matt was his name, once he figured out that I wasn't working with Honeygold anymore, he talked to all the advisors or whatever for Tyson Ranch and hunted my ass the fuck down and was like, "Yo, where did he go? Why is he not working at Honeygold anymore? We need him to come work for us."
Damn.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I was in LA one day and I was helping this dude at some THC facility or something like that, and I get a random phone call from a California number, and I don't know anybody else in California other than the dudes I was working with, right? So I ignored it, and then I get a text message that says, "Hey, this is Matt with Tyson. Call me back." And I mean, off the record, I mean, like Matt himself is like, this dude did like 26 years in prison. He's a fucking bodybuilder. Like this dude's huge. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason why he works.
You don't know for off the record that this is like a live stream, right? Okay.
It's on the record, off the record, whatever.
On a record of some sort.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
But Matt's now like one of my best friends. You know what I mean? For somebody like him to call you and you don't talk to him all the time is like kind of scary. You know what I'm saying? And I've dealt with a lot of scary individuals. So I call him back. He sets
Why
up
is
a
it with
meeting.
guys in CBD and even in prison?
Fuck, I don't know. I have no idea.
My boss,
Your boss would be one of those, Cox.
he is. He spent, 6 years in prison? And now the guy owns like 20-some vape stores plus a CBD wholesaling company.
Hey, before we go any further, Cox, video, please. You're the only one without a video. Come on.
I don't want to see your ugly face, Keith. You don't need to see mine.
Wow. I'd kick him just for that.
He did it before you could even tell him to. That was good.
Nice.
Well, so you got to look at it like this, right? So a lot of the dudes that went to prison, usually they do drugs of some sort if they've done a long time in prison, right? And they get out and they start going to Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, things like that. And they actually push in NA and AA very fucking hard to start trying CBD to help them wean themselves off of drugs and things like that, or to help them feel better from all the drugs they used to do. So a lot of the dudes in the industry that are worth any fucking thing, right? They meet each other inside of these fucking meetings and then just start these big ass companies that sell CBD or, some shit like that.
Yeah. That's pretty much what my boss did. I mean, the vape store was his girlfriend vaped, he didn't, and she couldn't buy the stuff she wanted to, so he said, okay, I'm going to start a vape store.
Yeah.
18 stores later, he's living in a freaking $1 million house in Florida and going, CBD sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
And
then you randomly text me pictures of your boss's airplane and Tesla every day.
And pictures of him and Post Malone. So
my boss and
with a
Post
stack
Malone,
of money.
Dude, Post Malone's stupid cigarettes, the Shaboinks. My boss literally, he was flipping out about the fact that he's like Post gave me his own pack, and I'm like, seriously, you're fangirling over Post Malone right now?
You know what's kind of funny though, bro? Working for Tyson is he has his own cannabinoid drink line called Dwink.
Boink?
No, Dwink.
Hey,
DWINK.
I wanted to ask you about that RTD drinks for CBD. So I do a lot of Killcliff stuff, right? They were probably one of the first dudes I got into heavy with RTD drink, ready to drink CBD things. And I was going to ask you about how difficult it is to get into the RTD business with CBD, because those Killcliff things are fucking amazing.
Well, I don't really know, to be honest with you. Like I said, I just I stay behind the curtains a little bit, and I don't really, other than people knowing what company I work for, I don't really venture out to put my name out there behind who else we work with, work for, or anything like that. So I don't really, aside from that, I don't really know much about anything besides the processing side of everything,
Okay. Well, if we could delve into the processing side, because I'm a huge proponent of CBD. I fucking love the stuff. It takes my back pain away, fucking helps my PTSD from the army and all that shit.
Right.
And I use CBD flower a lot because it helps, and I like to smoke, and I'm just fucking weird. So I'll take a big old bong rip of some CBD flower and set me right before I go to bed. but I've been getting these Kill Cliff drinks so I can just drink one of those before I go to bed. And I mean, they're fucking expensive. It's like $50 a case or something like that, or $48 a case.
That's
And I
yeah.
just wanted to know like how hard it is to get into that side with processing, because I know the whole cannabinoid receptors in the body, and it's different when you ingest it rather than smoke it, and this, that, and the third. Like, what's behind the processing factor of how it's absorbed into the body?
Well, so you have so you have what's called an endocannabinoid system, right?
Yep.
And everybody's born with natural CBD receptors in your body. So you got to look at it like this, right? So say you smoke a hell of a lot of weed, right? You get really, really high. Your eyes get really heavy. What happens is that THC molecule is covering that endocannabinoid receptor. So the CBD is getting coated by THC in your body.
Okay.
And if you smoke too much, you eat too much edibles, blah, 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 whatever, which I actually have a crazy story about that one. Then you get like really, really high. You start freaking out, having panic attacks, stuff like that. If you were to smoke CBD or drink a CBD tincture or anything like that to replenish the CBD receptors in your body, then all of a sudden you're not high anymore.
Yeah.
And it was kind of crazy for me when I learned how that worked, because it was one of those situations where I had a buddy of mine that his son, who was like 10 years old, ate an edible on accident. And it was not like your average edible. I'm talking about like they made these cookies at home for Christmas. They put icing on the cookies, and everything was some kind of THC product, right?
That's amazing.
He was sleeping. He was taking a nap or something, and his son went into the kitchen while he was asleep and ate the edible off the counter. Had no idea what it was.
Oh, that is
And
freaking
we're
scary.
talking, I mean, man, I ate 500 milligrams and like lost pretty much my everything going on up here. You know what I'm saying? For a good 20-some hours, and this kid ate like 2,000 milligrams.
Holy fuck!
And
Fuck Jesus.
like this kid fucking lost it, bro. And he, for good reason too. I mean, like the way 500 milligrams made me as a fucking grown ass man feel, this kid ate 2,000 plus milligrams of THC. And
How old was this child?
he had to be less than 10. I think he was like 8, maybe 9. And
Damn.
my buddy comes running across, because we were staying in an apartment complex. He comes running over to my building. He's like, "Hey, man, I don't know what the fuck is going on." He was like, "Can you come over to my house real quick?" So I come over, and his son looks up at me. Like, he's sitting there playing a video game. And he stops. He looks up at me, and he's like, "I feel like I'm on like a swing right now." He was like, "I feel like I'm just like coasting back and forth, and this kid's just like chilling, just like this, not even moving." And then all of a sudden, he starts getting up and screaming, right?
Wow.
Freaking out, bro. And I was like, what happened? What the fuck is going on? He was like, "Man, I think he ate that cookie that we made for Christmas." And I freaked out at that point. I was like, what the fuck? Why would you even let that be a thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that's a lot of shit going
Like,
wrong.
why would you put that where he could get it?
Right.
Well, that's
you have like
that's like
fucking,
one issue on a long ass line of where those people were fucking up there. But
there's a whole fucking line of problems that are going on. But like, you have a fucking 9-year-old kid in your house. Of course, if he sees a cookie on a counter and he doesn't see an adult around, he's gonna go for it.
Well, fuck yeah. I mean, I go for cookies.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah, this could easily happen to any of us if we saw that cookie. I mean, it's a cookie.
And then, I don't even want to think of what would have happened to me if I did it, let alone that kid, how he was feeling. But
2,000 milligram edible would fuck my whole world up.
See, I have no idea how this stuff works as far as like you guys talking like milligrams as far as like potency or whatever there, but I mean, it sounds like a lot. That's a lot for any like
That's
normal
a shit
drug.
ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
2,000 milligrams is like fuck.
I mean, is this
Stupid.
like terminal cancer patient like type dosage? Is that what we're talking here? Or is this like?
I mean, even terminal cancer patients don't eat but like a couple hundred a day.
Yeah, that's like taking
So this was like just like ape shit
to
amount.
the face.
Yeah, this kid just took 2,000 to the fucking dome. Like, wow. And
You remember, John? You remember the picture I showed you of the thing that looked like the Dragon Ball? That was 5,000 milligrams.
I honestly don't remember what you're talking about, but
I know
Yeah,
Nico
that's-
knows which one I'm talking about. Tyler, I think you actually were the one that shared it at one point.
yo, so what's
Right.
crazy is that Dragon Ball picture, because I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like a golden ball of cannabinoid. It's like THC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually not just a ball of THC, like oil. That's actually just the bottom of a receiver flask, and they turn it sideways to where you can't see the downspout on it, and turn it backwards and take a picture of it upside down pretty much to where it looks like it's just a ball in their hand. It's really
it's
a
so
glass
cool.
beaker full of THC oil.
wow.
That
Damn.
still sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's still cool as shit, but like nobody really can tell that that's
Yeah, they said
actually
it was like 5,000 milligrams, and I was like, fuck that.
yeah, it's like 5 kilos. It's a 5,000 mil receiver flask, and it's a piece of glass pretty much that they filled up with all this THC oil.
So
Hey, didn't I send you
so
the
this would be
picture
like
of
something
when
that
we
you
were
were
in
like
Florida and we
that would
perked
exist
our
while you're
flower?
making like it in other products,
You
basically.
and that damn gun.
Hey man, if I want to, I'm legally obligated. This is a Cutter Machine Works Monsoon Tactical fucking collab build, and I gotta show it off.
I told you.
Oh.
When do I have to send mine to you?
I told you whenever you want to, and we can get it done up.
All right.
So, hey, listen. So the rest of that story, right? So the kid who ate all that THC, he was all high and whatever, blah blah blah. And I ran back to my house when I realized what happened, and I brought some CBD isolate from my house because I keep like a little stockpile at my house because my wife smokes a lot. And just in case like the same situation happens, because I have my 3 kids that live with us here, I don't want the same kind of situation to happen in my house. But I rushed over to the dude's house with all the CBD isolate, and I melted it down and I put it in the kid's mouth. By the time I went home, came back to his house, which took me a total of maybe 6-7 minutes, this kid had passed out. And
Goddamn.
like not just like passed out, this kid's like unconscious, like seizing because of how much THC is coursing through his body.
So he was actually at like a full overdose like point, basically.
It was like that's exactly what was going on. His body was overdosing because it was flooded with THC, and like everybody wants to claim like, oh, THC is like this miracle thing. Like, yeah, it's cool and everything, but like, you know, on a different instance, like, yeah, when you have a headache, Tylenol also helps. But if you chug a whole fucking bottle of it, you're probably gonna die.
Well, you at least fuck up your liver out.
That'll be the last goddamn headache you ever had.
Yeah, you know. But we rushed. I put it under his tongue, and the kid like went from pretty much seizing in his fucking sleep to just still. He stopped. His eyes stopped rolling. He stopped twitching. He slept for like 20 fucking hours straight. But when he woke up, he ate like 2 medium-sized Domino's pizzas and was fine.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah. So, I mean, but he wasn't right for the next couple of days, and I'm not even exactly sure that he's probably going to be the same for the rest of his life, because I know I probably wouldn't be.
Permafried, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up permafried.
Well, that's.
Crazy.
I mean, that's.
Damn.
So the CBD then at that point, like it actually was like it'll counteract the THC then, right? Is that my
Yeah.
am I
So
getting my chemicals
it just
right?
replenished the THC that he had added to his body, and replenished his, pretty much his endocannabinoid system, and cleaned it. And you know, within a matter of minutes, as pure as the product is that CBD isolate is, when it's done right, is, I mean, it is a miracle drug. You know, like you can't. I mean, I'm not going to say you can't because it's never been proven, but in my opinion, you cannot overdose on CBD. You know what I mean?
Now, with the whole THC thing, this is actually one of the things that I've noticed now has been a problem. Is like the more like legalization and things has happened. Is like when people are just smoking, you might, if I'm understanding that, like you don't like overdose when you're smoking this shit. It's like whenever they make these concentrates and stuff that they're making like edibles and stuff out of. That's generally where the THC issues happen, right? Is that like?
Say that one more time. I had a munchkin running behind me.
I saw that. What I was saying was, especially now, since like a lot of like the legalization of a lot of like, especially the THC products, from at least if I'm understanding this correctly, like when people were like just smoking the stuff, it wasn't the same kind of issues here with overdosing, right? This is more of a thing that now that with the products that they're making from like extracts and like edibles and that type of shit's like where this is happening.
Yeah, so you got to think about it like this. They, in certain states, they still have it illegal to where the suspension and separation of cannabinoid is illegal. I mean, you have like, you can't sell weed in certain states. I can't just go to like, it's hard. I can't just go to North Carolina and start selling weed. You know what I mean? But to the extent of, there are places like a company called Root Science, right, who builds molecular distillation machines that separates from normal alcohol extract, is what you can call it. The little black oil stuff, right? Have you guys ever seen that?
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen 'em.
That's that.
I mean, just from culinary school, I understand what an alcohol extraction is, as far as like, you know,
Yeah.
like that's how much of your like fucking vanilla extract is a fucking is an example of it. So
they take that, right, and they separate the alcohol from that. It has like this thick oil that they call RSO, Rick Simpson oil. It's like the very first type of extract that was ever like found out for cannabis, right? Well, they take that and they put this in this machine that separates that, and it's called a white film molecular distillation machine, and pretty much that in itself is a whole legality of like you can't do that in certain states, right?
like that
Because
one
you're
specific
literally
process.
separating the potent chemical or compound THC itself. It's illegal in certain states to have extract, yes, but it's illegal on its own just to be able to separate that extract.
Damn.
So,
One-
what's
the one
like
thing I
the
was gonna
number
ask-
one thing that you see people come in for to get CBD? Like,
Mostly, lately it's been like a wholesale thing, right? So they'll come in and buy like 100 kilos of isolate at a time, or they'll come in
Fuck.
and buy, you know, a couple 100 kilos of distillate, or, you know, surrounding that whole idea, like it's just a wholesale kind of thing, right?
okay,
And then-
is that like kilograms or like kiloliters?
No, kilos.
kilos, like kilograms, yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I'm talking about like 1,000 grams at a time.
Wow.
And they buy like hundreds of them at a time. And it doesn't matter which product it is, but they don't ever buy just like 1 or 2 kilos. As a matter of fact, there's a point where we don't even sell it if it's too small of an amount, right?
Jesus.
And you would think like
Holy
everybody's
fuck.
like, oh, you buy a kilo of THC, that shit's got to be like $20,000. Not really, right? So it's only like for THC, if you buy a kilo of distillate, which is the oil that you see inside of the Dragon Ball, or that
It's
flash
a dab.
I was telling you guys about, yeah. So that's only like 5.
Yeah.
Well, no, hold on, that's 5 kilos, so that's $5,000 a piece. So that's probably around 20 grand inside of that Dragon Ball.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
And then that's like the products that they're using. Like, is that the stuff they're turning into edibles afterward, or is that the stuff like they're putting in like the vape liquids, or how's that all?
Both. So the way you determine that, man, is that it's pretty much a discrepancy of the manufacturer. So if you want straight, knock you on your ass, strong as you can get, like go for the isolate, right? Because it's pure. You don't have to use as much, and it's gonna get the job done. And you can make vape carts, edibles, body lotions, all kinds of shit with that, right? But then you have the other side of the spectrum where people are thinking about it like, oh, I don't just want THC. I don't just want CBD. I want the full cannabinoid experience. I want THC, CBD, CBG, CBDV, THCA. I want it all at one time, right?
You want the whole alphabet agency.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's like 158 known cannabinoids that people are playing with these days.
Jeez.
Holy fuck.
Jesus.
Something around there. I think now correct me if I'm wrong, somebody.
So they're almost separating like every single like chemical compound that exists in the plants, basically.
Yeah, I mean it yeah, pretty much.
Jeez.
God damn.
And those people are taking what they consider full spectrum, which is its own variety of an extract, right? And it has all of those cannabinoids at one time. And, you know, it does a hell of a lot of different things. So remember when I was telling you about if you do too much THC and you take CBD, it mellows you back out?
Yeah.
Well, think how the people feel when they take 50-50 THC and CBD extracts, right? Then you don't really know what to do at that point because it's kind of crazy to think about.
I mean, is that almost like a balanced out to where like you don't even like you don't nothing happens, or I mean I don't maybe I'm not quite understanding how this works then.
So I don't do enough of it to know myself exactly how it feels. Sit over there. I don't do enough about it to know exactly how it feels, but I can tell you that it doesn't cancel itself out because to an extent, once you flood your CBD receptors enough to replenish them, and at the same time you're adding on THC on top of that, you're kind of just null and voiding the fact that you're trying to help it, and it's going to just end up.
So, like the THC would basically negate any benefits you were getting from CBD.
Okay. Pretty much because like you're trying to flood your system with both cannabinoids at one time, so you're not actually even helping yourself anymore.
Now, the one question I have is, a lot of people say CBD is going to pop you for a drug test.
No. So,
Zach, turn your ringer off.
What's some new levels?
Every time my phone lights up, I hear it coming through your fucking phone.
Yeah.
So no, you will not test hot for THC on a drug test. It depends on which drug test they're using and what they're looking for. Because some places only test for THC, right? Tetrahydrocannabinol. That's the only thing they're testing for. But there are places that test for cannabinoids, their drug test. And in that instance, yes, you're going to pop hot every time.
Now, does that have to be orally ingested, or will it pop even if you do it topical?
Topicals will not test hot because that's a totally different system, right? So that's okay. You're ingesting that cannabinoid to your epidermis. It's not in your blood system. You know what I mean? It's not getting in. It's not being pushed into your blood system through your skin. That's not how it works.
There we go. Okay. That was the one thing I had asked you the last time I seen you, actually, was about that.
Yeah. It's crazy how it works, man. But, you know, nowadays, like, there's places that are having to take drug testing for, like, cannabis completely out of their system itself. Like, they can't test you for weed.
Yeah. Now you all got your damn flashlights. Congratulations.
No, it's actually
MicroStream
actually
USB.
it's a fucking Baofeng, but
Jesus. See, this is why when we do podcasts, Niko,
I had to go get my AirPods and I got my flashlight in my car.
veers off to like the left.
Well, yeah,
It's random as fuck.
you got fucking Boats and Hose down here throwing a fucking spotlight on his Glock, so.
There's no one talking now because now I don't have audio. This is weird.
No,
yes, we're still talking. We're
there,
talking about you, Tyler.
Yeah.
No, maybe a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Fuck.
He broke it. No, that killed the fucking joke. The only person that didn't hear it was the person I was fucking with.
Well, I don't have audio. This is fucking annoying.
Well, you might have to change your settings into the cam mic.
Well,
Rejoin the
but he
stream.
can't hear you. That's the problem. Text it to him.
So
We can hear him.
if you're using it topically, like my wife uses a CBD stick, and I've used some of her CBD oil on actually an injury I had on my trigger finger. That shit worked amazingly because on
Not
Christmas,
that well.
I
You still
cut
can't
my-
hit shit, but
I cut my trigger finger and it got into like the cartilage and everything between the knuckles. And I actually was using CBD oil to like loosen up all the scar tissue in there, and it actually
did you notice an improvement, like
pretty much
healing wise?
loosened my finger back. Huh?
Did you notice? Like, was there a noticeable like improvement on your?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like from probably the first day I started using it, I could barely bend my finger like that far, and it's still healing, but it's pretty much to the point where now I can close it like normal. And I do that maybe once a week. I just put a little drop on it and rub it into where my knuckle is, and it's I swear by it now. Like I tell people all the time, like they should do it.
Man, so after we had Swing on Sight Fest last year, right, in Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
and a Crowded Turn was playing or somebody was playing. I can't remember who it was, but I'm standing up front, and all of a sudden I turn around and somebody like roundhouse kicks me in the face, and I throw my hand up like this to like get away because I was like, "Fuck!" There's like 500 people here about to kick me in the face at the same time. I throw my hand up like this, and then their foot, instead of kicking me in the face, hit my pinky, and it twisted and bent backwards my pinky, right?
Fuck.
And
I think I know who kicked you in the face. I think that was Nick.
no, I don't think it was. It was this dude named Sugar from Texas,
Okay.
and
I feel
Nick
your
thought
pain.
he kicked you. I know. He said,
no, this dude named Sugar was wearing a pair of steel-toed Timbs, and
"Oh,
and just this foot, just this size 13 Timberland, just comes down and just fucking wild, just lands down on me, right? Well, after the show,
that just hurts thinking about it."
yeah, after the show, my hand was really sore. I didn't really feel much about it, and I still can't. I don't really still have like full range on what I can do with my pinky. But the next day, Simone Robb was at my house, and he grabs it. He's got the video. It's fucking crazy. My pinky it stayed like that for like days, right? And that next day, he's got it on video where he like grabs it. My pinky's like purple and blue and fucking nasty looking, and he grabs it and he yanks on it, and it pops, right? And all you hear is pop. my pinky like popped back into place. It was fucking nasty. But what I'm getting at is I was taking full spectrum CBD pills, and I noticed like more flow in my pinky after like a week just from taking that stuff, and it didn't make me feel like I was high. Like it wasn't like I'm just like I'm all fucked up. You know? It wasn't like that, but it was like a noticeable difference in the way my pinky felt.
Now, with something like that, when you're taking it, is that actually act as like a pain reliever? Also, though, I mean, how does that?
It works as a pain reliever to the extent that it takes the inflammation down.
So it's, I mean, like something like kind of like how ibuprofen
Basically
works.
the form
Then,
of like a muscle relaxer and an anti-inflammatory.
well, that's why
Yeah,
like
so-
ibuprofen, like or Advil, whatever you want to fucking call it, that's supposed to be an anti-inflammatory. That's why I just wasn't sure if it kind of would be a similar
if
thing. Or
you got to think about it like this. So if you break your hand, right, and your hand's like twice the size that it normally is, and it just hurts like a motherfucker. it mostly hurts because of how swollen it is, right?
Yeah, swellings
obviously
swellings where the majority of pain from most of that shit comes from. So
Right. So you take CBD and it takes 75% of the swelling away for a limited amount of time. Your hand's obviously going to feel better. As far as like
That's witchcraft.
wait,
and you
Percocet
fucking
or
do it.
whatever that shit is works. No, it ain't going to make you feel like that.
Yeah,
Straight
'cause that's what I
witchcraft.
noticed. Witchcraft, yes, black magic and witchcraft. Because I noticed, like I said, when it had started to heal, but one day at work I stubbed it and like it re-jammed it, and when I come home I snapped it back out and I could feel it snap, and I was like, screw it. I says, I got nothing to lose. Let me try some of that. And like very little, like half a drop. And I just sat there and rubbed it in on my finger. And dude, it's amazing how much I've got my finger back. And I was kind of upset because it isn't. Basically, it's well, yeah, smart ass. It's not even it's barely anything that goes on there. So I don't even know.
And then once you got that out, you then split that drop in half, though.
You fucking chode.
Whatever. Shush.
Like
You in the
size
corner,
of your
shush.
dick Trying to drop.
Thou
You in the
shall
corner,
ingest
shush
a
down
satchel
there.
of Richards.
You know I'm right. So use the drop the size of your dick.
Yes, there we go.
Go give me one of my
I'm
sodas.
so glad Zach doesn't have control over who gets on the fucking stream or not.
I'm playing on this.
Pause this. You can pause this. Trying to convince my son to go get me a Baja Blast out of the cabinet.
He hit his
Dude,
face,
go get the
hide his
Baja
shame.
Blast. Dad needs it.
Yeah.
And he just bounced. Oh.
Wow, you're a dick.
Oh. See, I thought you did it. I didn't realize Keith was the one that did it.
No, it
Are
was
your
me.
feelings hurt, Zachary? Are they hurt?
There he is with his proper 12 there.
Yo,
Not
proper
sharing.
12 where it's at, dude. That stuff is good.
I still haven't got to try it yet, and all the liquor stores are closed in PA, so I'm just fucking beat there.
Sucks to
I'm
be you.
babysitting my bottle of Proper 12. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, shit, it's empty. Never mind.
I'm babysitting my bottle of Proper 12 that Doug got me for Christmas.
Well, it's not even that
coffee
expensive,
martini.
so I don't know why you're holding out on it.
What's a bottle of proper
Douglas
12 run?
Douglas is being angry as usual, Nico.
Dude, Doug was like, "Yeah, man, Conor McGregor drinks this stuff."
Well, yeah,
Like,
no, he does advertiser. He gets paid to advertise for it. Doesn't mean he drinks it.
It's got his name on the
Whiskey.
bottle.
We
Yeah.
should get that instead of Jameson. I was like, I don't know, bro. Should we get that instead of Jameson?
I'm sure his
And then
name's
he-
on the bottle. They're
Right there.
they're
Than a
paying him
bottle
a
of
lot of
Jameson.
money for that name on that bottle. So
Yeah, his name
of
is on
course
the
his
bottle.
name's on the bottle.
I was going to say, he owns the distillery.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So again, doesn't mean he actually drinks it. It just means he makes a lot of money.
Oh, no,
off
he
of
does. He does, because if you watch the post-fight
Of
him
course,
and Mayweather,
yeah. If there's
he
cameras, he's gonna
walks out
fucking
with
drink it. Yeah, damn Skippy. If there's cameras on, he's gonna drink it.
He is already shit-faced on a bottle of that shit when he comes out, and he slams the bottle down on the post-interview table so they could finish drinking it.
He could have got hammered on an 18-year-old, whatever the fuck the Glenn McKenna, I don't know fucking whatever it was called. Yeah, it's like $1.10 a fucking bottle in PA for the 18-year. Yeah, I'm not a big Scotch guy, but that stuff's fucking fantastic. I bought a bottle for a buddy for a gift the one year, and we had a little sampling that night, and it is fucking delectable. It's fucking delicious. But I could never spend that much, I think, on a Scotch for myself just to have in the liquor cabinet.
Do you guys drink tequila?
I love, Cabo Wabo is my shit, honestly. Cabo Wabo,
I have a whole bottle of Cabo that I haven't even opened, John.
you motherfucker.
So
I bought it.
I went to the store the other day. Hold on.
Oh, the wife's been drinking it. I bought it as an apology because I was an asshole present one night.
Well, then she should be drinking it. I'm surprised there's any left, actually, if it's teeters on whether or not you're being an asshole.
Ooh.
So I got this the other day. It's called Sin Coro Tequila, and
I like the bottle.
it's something like There's something about like Michael Jordan or something like that. Some dumb shit the guy tried to sell it to me as. I don't know, something. But like the bottle itself is at a 23-degree angle, I guess.
I could see that
Something
being a
like
Michael Jordan thing. Then I guess that would make sense.
And then like
Okay.
the bottle cap is also at a 23-degree angle.
Wow.
Different.
That is.
All the way down to everything about this bottle is Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan.
Now, was the tequila actually good? That's the bigger thing there.
No, it was disgusting.
See, that's the problem.
Oh,
See, that's why I love Cabo
like-
for the money.
that's
I
like,
think it blows like Patron and a lot of those out of
That's
the
like
water.
Crystal Head vodka. They made that vodka.
Oh,
with,
it's a
like,
badass
Crystal
bottle.
Skull.
It's an awesome bottle. That's
Yeah,
where it
it's
The
an
ends.
bottle tastes like you're drinking fucking rubbing alcohol.
It's a great bottle to have sitting on your bar to look cool. Just don't fucking open
Yeah.
it. That's all.
No, I drank it one time and it literally tastes like rubbing
Or
alcohol.
better yet,
It
you
is.
use the original contents of some sort of cleaning fluid and then like fill the bottle back up with Tito's.
And sanitizer. I could use it as hand sanitizer.
I don't know. I'm not really a
Yeah.
vodka guy. Tito's is one of the ones I can fucking stand. I guess if it's going to be a
Dude, I
vodka
like
kind
Tito's.
of thing, but it's
I don't
it's.
like
Tito's is the shit.
I don't like Tito's.
I mean, it's
So I think we've hit pretty much everything on CBD.
well. I mean, the expert would be the one to tell us that. If like,
Yeah, I mean, have we pretty much
All right.
covered everything on CBD there, sir?
what else do you want to say about CBD?
Yeah, I think so. For the main
I
thing.
mean, make sure you get good quality CBD.
Jesus, what is that? Oh no, dude!
Oh, he's
fuck
looking
that.
at Crystal
Hey,
Head.
actually, speaking of tequila, I do want to know if you guys in Ohio, at least, has anyone tried Number Juan tequila yet?
No.
Number one.
I have.
Is it as good as he says it is? It's supposed to.
It tastes like Patron Silver.
See, I don't like. I like Cabo better than Patron Silver. Even like I like Cabo's Blanc better than fucking. So I mean,
I'm not a heavy tequila drinker. Like I can drink Scotch straight. I'll drink whiskey straight. Like obviously whiskey
well,
straight.
yeah. So,
But
well, yeah.
Yeah, I
if-
drink-
it honestly just
I
tastes
drink
like
Irish
fucking
whiskey and Jack
Patron
Daniels.
now was do you know what the price point is comparatively, more or less than like a Patron?
Silver. It was about equal.
They were about similar price point. Okay, that's making me.
Yeah, I think it was $78.
Is that for the big bottle? Is that a 750 or a 1.5?
For the 750 it was like $78, and I think Patron Silver was 71.
Okay.
God damn.
See, now I don't even feel that bad that they don't sell it in PA. Like, it's kind of lame with us having like our liquor control board shit and all that. Like, I can't even get it. But at least
But you
yet,
can't get
Well, I'll
shit
tell
right
you
now,
guys-
John, because
Well,
all your
that's-
shit is closed
Yeah.
the fuck down.
it's really funny. Is now
Yeah,
West
shit
Virginia
gets sold in grocery
at
stores.
midnight
What's up,
tonight.
bitch?
West Virginia is closing their borders even, which is funny because like I know like a ton of people have been going down to West Virginia to buy liquor from
Yeah.
PA.
Well, they'll just shoot
Hey,
your
before
ass
too
and
long,
leave
we're
you
gonna
lay
be-
in the street. So.
Before too long, I'm going to knock on Nico's door and he's going to show me where all the local moonshiners are.
Hey, we
Well,
can't
now
give
that
away
we're
all-
getting to the topic at hand, boys, let's really talk about it. While I'm here, the apocalypse.
Well, Nico, if you want to hang out with us some more and BS about random shit, you're more than welcome to. If you want to jump off, I appreciate you coming on and
Hey, do you
talking CBD.
want to do like a stop and we'll do like a separate episode? We'll start here in a second. Then do you want to make this the all CBD and then we'll go into another little bullshit session?
Yeah, we'll do that real quick.
All right,
Nico, if you want to
any
hang
final
out for a
words there,
little more,
Nico?
you're more than welcome to.
Any final CBD words there?
No, just don't buy gas station CBD, I guess.
Shit's trash.
If you buy
Good
gas
quality.
station
Really,
CBD,
really, the only thing you should buy at gas stations is fucking gas. Anyway, all
Yeah,
right,
because even the sushi there sucks.
Yeah.
all right, Zach, Keith, do your thing, and then we'll restart this.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again, Nico, for coming on. We're gonna wrap this part of the episode up. basically, folks, CBD stuff. Check it out if you have anxiety, headaches, muscle spasms, whatever. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. Make sure you check out good quality shit as well. Other than that, I'm going to wrap this episode up. I'm Zach the Tactical Gnome.
Keith the Bearded Tank.
Daddy Brigade Podcast. Out.
Out.